All right. How to press the unbeliever about preconditions of intelligibility according to world view type, right? Um, uh, how to how to uh, press them. So that is something that we looked at in the last class, if you remember. Those who are unbelievers, no, those who are atheists, especially in an atheistic and materialistic worldview, how we should uh, talk to them, how we are going to force them to realize that a theistic worldview is illogical, right? Illogical. How we can get them to that place. And this is very important. And that's what we looked at. And then a dualistic worldview, right? Dualistic worldview. We already talked about dualism, right? God is there, but he's not connected to this world, right? He's somewhere far away, no connection, right? That's a dualistic worldview. Dualism answers many of the questions above. For example, it explains the existence of general principles, laws, right? God is there, right? Great power is there. I agree. The questions aimed at the Aristotelian did not work so well with the Platonist, right? Because this is Platonism is connected to dualistic view. So we must craft specific questions to deal with them, especially. So what are the questions we need to ask them? How do you merge physical and metaphysical? Remember, I said when we discussed about dualism, they said, yeah, there is a physical and metaphysical realms, right? Realms. The two realms, one is physical and metaphysical. And what they say, all what you see here in the physical realm is derived from the metaphysical realm. That is their idea. So what should we be asking? The idea of two realms cannot explain how either one affects the other in its own realm. And they cannot explain how one realm, physical realm, or one metaphysical realm affects physical realm. They are not able to explain. That is the illogical side of people who says about this dualistic worldview, um, uh, uh, physical and metaphysical, and all what you see. And the people say this is not the original. Original is there in the metaphysical world. So they are not able to explain how it is connected. How does the physical realm emerge from ideas, right? How does something that is particular and contingent give way to something universal and necessary? These are all theological way of explaining a dualistic worldview, right? For example, they will say, you got a pen, right? You got a pen. This pen tells that there is an ideal pen in a metaphysical world. An ideal pen. So the idea of this pen came from the ideal pen. Now the question is, okay, talk about this metaphysical world, which is not physical. How do you connect? How does this affect? Right? So that is a question. Now, Plato's illogical answer was that there was a mythical personal emerge that united them. There was some kind of things that united metaphysical world to the physical world. He also argued the myth that the soul, not the idea of soul, but the soul once existed in the realm of ideas. That's what they call this a metaphysical world. It existed before. in the realm of ideas, and then it is united with the body, and now wishes to return back to the ideas of what happened when you die. You go back to the metaphysical world. He appealed to an exception to start his system, or better again, to a fleeting appeal to a warped form of Christian worldview. So they don't know how to connect with the physical and metaphysical. So Plato came with some kind of mythical, personal, maybe agent, right? A demiurge. Some kind of person is there that is between metaphysical and physical, that connects. That's what they were arguing. So if you really listen to this philosophical discussions, really listen, then you will see the folly of that. Folly of that. Right. Now, not only dualism, let's look at theistic religions, right? Theistic religions. That means religions that believe that there is a God. Atheism doesn't believe that there is a God. Dualism believes just different way. Talk about two realms. But then there are some religions, I mean, almost most of the religions believe that there is a higher power person, right? So what they would say, including Christianity, is a theistic religion, right? So let's look at other religions. Here, presuppositionalism has one of the greatest challenges. It argues quite cogently against non-theistic models, right? We say we believe in God. An atheist would say we believe there is no God, right? So yes, we have an advantage here than atheist. Both of us believe. Atheists believe that there is no God. We believe that there is God, right? So that is the premise. That is a presupposition. Atheists have a presupposition. We do have a presupposition. But so we can easily, press an atheist from where the soul came, from the idea of morality, and all those questions can be asked, and they are unable to answer, right? But what about other religion who believes in God? That's a problem. Now, critics often claim thus that presuppositionalism fails to prove that Christianity is the only religion that supplies the preconditions of intelligibility, right? So some of the critics says the problem with the presuppositionalism is that it fails to prove that Christianity is the only true religion. In short, it seems to simply suggest, right, I presuppose my God, right? Because you are a Christian. You are a Christian, and what do? You believe that there is God, right? That means you presuppose your God. All right? If you have the freedom to presuppose your God, if you have the freedom to believe your God, what about other people? You presuppose your, right? Other people can believe they are God. And we must simply go our separate ways in disagreement, because all theistic worldviews equally account for reality, right? Because I believe Jesus is God. He believes Allah is God. And the other person believes maybe Brahma is God. We all believe. We all have our own faith, our own belief. And maybe it is kind of equal, right? How do you say only Christianity is the true religion? How can that happen? Or what is your argument that all other things are wrong? So this is the tension here. this supposed failure or presuppositionalism exists only if we fail to recognize the presuppositional apologetics is neither deductive nor inductive. We have to learn that it's not deductive nor inductive. Presuppositionalism starts with a Christian worldview and takes on all comers, all those who come, we take them, because the real presupposition starts not simply that we believe in a God. That is not what we believe. If you begin the idea that I believe in God, you have a problem. Your starting point has got a problem. Do you remember? Okay, I talked about cosmological argument, talked about teleological argument. Okay, the argument of designer and design, right? Have you heard about teleological argument? Anyone? Anyone? Teleological argument. I'm just taking it. All right. Teleological argument is simply design and a designer. This is the argument. If there is a design, all right, I got a mouse here. We want to see this, right? And this is designed. It has got white color and red wheels. And if you look at this side, it's got this like kind of red thing here. A design. What does this design indicate? Design indicates a designer, right? The word is a design, indicates there is a designer for the world, right? So all these are all some of the logical argument people talk for the existence of God, right? Now, what is the logical problem with this argument? What is the problem with that argument? Anyone? What is the problem? And okay, so we say, who is the designer? Who is the ultimate designer? God is the ultimate designer. That's how you come to God. That's what deductive, right? You deduce your argument to that place. Make the argument that compels a person to come to a conclusion. So you come to God. What is the problem with this argument? Anyone? Anyone? What is the problem
with the design?
What is, Joseph?
Who the designer is?
All right, yes. The problem is you believe, okay, this designer is God. I understand. Now, I will claim that what will I claim? Who is this God? I will say Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is God. What will a Muslim will say? Huh? Who is the designer for a Muslim? He will say Allah. What would be a Hindu would say? Who is this God? or maybe who is the creator? Brahma, right? In Hinduism, is it, are you? I don't know.
Brahma.
Brahma. Okay, I guess. All right, Brahma. So who is the designer for Hinduism? Brahma. So see what it leads. That's what the problem. The moment. Okay, I believe in God. That's a good statement. It's a good presupposition, but it has got a problem. Who is that God we are talking here? So, evidential apologetics, right, that argues the case and leads to God, brings the proof first that leads a person, force a person to come to a conclusion that there is God, will fail here. All the evidential apologetics fail here because it doesn't lead a person to the God of the Bible. It doesn't lead. So, a Christian apologist doesn't simply doesn't say, I believe God. That's not the way to begin. It's not an analysis of data and an inductive journey to God, right? We go to reach who is the ultimate designer, God, and then who must that be further defined? Okay, then who is this God? That's not the good apologetics. That's not the way to begin. We begin with the Christian God in all his biblical specificity and announce that the Christian worldview is the only worldview that accounts simultaneously for all the preconditions of intelligibility. So, what do we believe? We believe not simply God. No, that is not right. We believe in the God of the Bible. Right? We believe that God has revealed himself in the pages of Bible. The true God, Christian God, or a biblical God. That is the point to begin. Point to begin is not simply God. And then somehow force people to believe that this is, we begin that God of the Bible is true God. That's how we begin. This is the genius of transcendental argumentation, right? It does not say as empirical inductivist. For example, there is a cause and effect in the argument of causality, cause and effect. Cause and effect. You know that argument. Every effect has got a cause, right? Every effect has got a cause. And so that there is an ultimate cause. That ultimate cause is what? Therefore, God, right? That is the cosmology, the argument of cause and effect, which is not only illogical, leading either to infinite regress or fideism, but can also lead to any one of many gods. Who is this cause? Maybe why don't we? There are many causes, many gods, right? And so this is this argument of deductionism. There is effect. Every effect has got a cause, and there is an ultimate cause. That ultimate cause is God. And why not ultimate cause? There are ultimate causes. So we say, it does not say a genius transcendental argumentation does not say that there is about the causality, therefore God, but can lead to many gods, but rather, this is what we say, but rather without God, no causality. It starts with God and thus ends with him. We don't start with the evidences. We are not, okay, we are not starting with the evidences that will help us to reach to God. We begin our journey with the God of the Bible, right? It starts with God and ends with Him. This is not simply a fancy way of saying the converse, but the only kind of proof that actually proves the God of the Bible. The only kind of the genuine proof that proves the God of the Bible is that we begin with this God. Beginning point is not any other thing. God of the Bible is true God. This is our beginning point. We are not saying once there was God or I believe in God. That's even that's not the point. Or we are making an argument saying, okay, look at these are the reason I believe God. Now, I believe God, and therefore these are the effects. So each version of theism must be addressed as a separate variation of the pagan worldview. It must be addressed the same way as the previous views by means of internal critique. Does your alternative God account? All right. Here's the point. Why Christianity, we say, why Christianity is the true religion? Why Bible, the biblical worldview is the ultimate and the true worldview? Here is the question to be asked. Look, you ask to every other religion. This is the question. Does your alternative God account simultaneously, actually, for the reality, simultaneously for creation, sin, atonement, freedom, logic, etc.? Which religion has got all of them? And each in their own way falls short of accounting for all of these problems simultaneously. If you look at all of the religion, they will fall short of all these important topics. So ask first, why do you believe what do you believe? Right? That is the question to establish the authority, right? What is your authority? Right. So if they are not able to answer the question, why do you believe what do you believe? Then there is no more argument. I mean, if they are not able to say that, if there is no answer at all, we must simply dismiss their religion as sheer of arbitrariness. All right. But if there is an answer, that is a prophet or we have a sacred scriptures, for example, Confucius, Buddha, Jesus, Muhammad, etc. Somebody talks about prophet or whatever. Then you go again after preconditions of intelligibility, right? Okay, you talk about, yes, this is the reason I believe. Then ask them, okay, do you have the preconditions of intelligibility? Do you have these basic concepts are explained in something that should be should be there in the mind of any and every intelligible person? All right, such as, for example, how do you deal with these issues? Creation, sin, atonement, freedom, logic, etc. Right? Those are the areas that you are going to see what? Loopholes, illogical things you are going to see. Right? For example, I mean, we can talk about a lot of things. There still must be a non-arbitrary reason why Jesus is true God. There should be a non-arbitrary reason. Jesus is not comparable to other gurus. No, he is God, makes ethical atonement for sin. Right? Ethical atonement. Bible is not comparable to other scriptures. No, there is no way you can compare to other scriptures. They are not and do not claim to come from God. It doesn't, there is no self-validity for their book. For biblical counterfeits and distortions, now, for that one we know, for example, Islam and Jehovah's Witness or Mormons, these are all biblical counterfeits, actually. You know, that copied portions of the Bible. Our procedure is even more simple. Even, for example, here we talk about Romans. They can be refuted on their own claims alone. Romanism and Mormonism, Romanism, you know what is, right? Roman Catholics. Romanism and Mormonism claim the Bible as sacred scripture. Right? That's what they believe. Wow. And this can be used the basis for answering the additions. Right? So you can talk to them easily. If they believe that Bible is true, then let's argue from the Bible. Is Roman Catholicism fits biblical dimension? Absolutely no. Even Islam, I said because that's a biblical counterfeit, which affirms the law of Moses, Psalms of David, and the gospel of Jesus can be answered this way. Okay, you believe the Bible is true because it's quite interesting. Even in the book of Quran, they try to glorify the Bible. And so it's quite interesting. Anyway, so what I wanted to say here is, yes, if you really think, and if you're really intelligible, or if you're able to think, then you can find out the illogical, beliefs of other religions. There is only one system of belief. I say religion in that way, a system of belief that makes real sense, which answers the questions of creation, sin, atonement, and logics, etc. That's only one book, not all other books. And just think about the way of salvation in all other religion. You will if you think about that itself, then you will understand the folly of all other religions. And somewhere I was talking about okay, I think it was here at last Sunday. Yes, talking to people about what other religion talks about salvation. How can you earn forgiveness? Just ask that simple question. How you get forgiveness? Simple question. Look at all other religions' answers. You will see the folly of their beliefs. Simply that question itself. Most of the religions are going to say, most of the people are going to say, who are the religious, they're going to say, it is by works. That's right. By works. Now, we've all, okay, by works, done, no. Then you need to ask the question, how much work? How much work? Where does it say this much work? Where does it say this much work? Any authority? Yeah, people say, I believe, yeah. Do you have an authority? Where does it say? No. People have various opinions, right? So, friends, we need to press people for answers. And that is How? Always by this question. Why do you believe what do you believe? That is the foundational question. Foundational question. Why do you believe what do you believe? Everyone is a believer. Everyone is a believer. And so we need to ask that question, right? Why do you believe that? For example, you believe, you know, that there are many gods. Why do you believe that? You believe that Allah is God. Why do you believe that? Right? Why do you believe? What do you believe? And ask them every time. Why? Asking this why question is most important in pressing people for right answer, and where they will learn that they have no answer, a good logical answer. So that is what we should learn in apologetics. All right.